You're listening to In Context Podcast. This season is proudly powered by Old School Africa.
Hello, hello.
Hello, guys. Welcome back.
Welcome. It's great to have you guys back on the second episode. Is it second? The second, Abby?
Yeah, most likely.
No, what if I have the math wrong, just forgive me. Allow, okay? But welcome back. My name is Joanna, but you can call me Joe, if you like.
And
Actually,
that's
no,
all.
you should call me Joe.
Now, wow, you're fighting with them, oh. Anyway, my name is Oluwatoyin for short. I've said this before, I will always say it. And we have a guest.
Normally. You know, I think I should start ad-libbing when you speak.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
like, you have a guest. Guest.
Yeah.
Or type.
Type shit, as our director will say. Yeah. So today, don't worry, I'll put his name at the end so that you will not know. But if you know his face, that's fine. Anyway, today we have a globally certified human resource professional, a capacity builder. This is where you be saying gay.
Allow. I'm warming up.
And employability skill trainer
Woohoo!
with a background in economics and cross-sectional thought leadership experience in HR.
You don't mean it.
You put it there, his name is there now, I'll say it. But Faith has worked in major names Faith has worked with major names
Girl.
in unique industries like Big Cabal Media
Oh,
as the head of talent management.
okay.
Carry-wise, where he was the lead people culture. This bio is serious. So.
Is it my very brand?
Hey,
Very,
and you
very
position
obviously.
as in General Electric, a Fortune 500 company where he managed different people and processes that accelerated the attainment of business goals and objectives.
Okay.
Only you, Faith.
They said that's me. Sorry.
No, wait, I'm not done, no.
Okay.
I'm not
Even
even
me.
done.
Wow.
Even you are surprised,
I am
right?
surprised.
Okay. Last year, he launched HR Clinic, an initiative focused on providing people-centric advisory to startup founders, NGO founders, SME owners. He also launched Luminous Consult, a career hub focused on scaling career solutions for individual and businesses.
Sorry, round up, but like, please, can you send me your resume template? I just want to see something.
That's what means
No,
I was going to say.
I
I
don't
have
want
to
to
copy
send it
because
to me.
only
Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend.
Yes.
No, I'm not asking for a friend. This is me. I'm my friend.
No, I see they also like Ogunlesi.
I beg you. But yes,
Brother.
let's welcome Emmanuel Faith.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Hi,
Welcome.
everybody. They have bribed me with tea and coffee, but I like the mug. It's so cute.
Stop now, stop. You're making us share on the podcast. Stop.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, so hi everyone. My name is
Welcome.
Emmanuel Faith. I'm super delighted to be here.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. So yes, before we start, there's one thing we always like to do because even if the tea did not warm you up, we have to break the ice.
I don't warm up.
Yeah, we have to break the ice. Okay,
I
so
still did like this.
like this, eh? But don't worry, after this, so pick a number from 1 to 15.
7.
Is that a lucky number?
Nice.
Mama, I no get lucky number.
You are asking people if it's
I no get. I just they pick numbers. Yeah.
angel number.
As the spirit brings
Oh
it.
yeah, now.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
patient.
We're doing Never Have I Ever
Okay.
remote work edition.
Okay.
So, never have I ever slept in a meeting.
No, I haven't slept in a meeting. Yeah, so it's interesting. My last 2 roles are lead roles, right? So, I try not to put meetings in time that is not convenient for me. In the last 2 complaints that I've worked,
God, when?
only the management can fix a meeting for me before 10 a.m.
Okay.
Everybody knows that, like, I don't take meetings before 10 a.m. Yeah.
Everybody knows. Oh my God.
Yeah, so
Oh my God.
I'm either going to be on the meeting or not going to be on the meeting. Even if I have to put my leg inside water. I've never slept during
Fair
a
enough.
meeting before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, second
Joanna,
one.
can you say the same?
I've never slept in a meeting.
At all.
Nope.
Wow. You guys are nice.
I've never.
Yes. But it's not from my mouth to hear that.
Yeah, I've actually never slept in a meeting. What meeting would that be? Never. Actually, because I'm quite talkative, so talk with
Yeah,
you.
that's also me. Yeah, so I'm also like very energetic. So I'm that guy that will actually sort of make the meeting exciting and stuff. So
Yeah. Okay, so second one, because we have about 4.
okay.
Never have I attended a meeting with shirt on, like a virtual meeting with shirt on and no pants.
No, I always if you had said pants on and no shirt, yes. But shirt, I always that part is very important. Okay? I mean, if video goes up, I see my chest. I mean, I'm handsome, I'm airy.
Oh wow!
But I cannot risk that part. So I always actually wear.
Fair enough.
Wear.
Okay, next one. Never have I ever blamed network connectivity issues to avoid a question in a virtual meeting.
So I've never also done that.
You know, as a lead, is the one asking the questions.
So I feel like there's a lot of responsibility on you, right? So then half of the times, like 50 to 75% of the times, I'm often prepared for meetings, right? So again, I would rather not.
The remaining 50 to 25%.
Life there. But I don't blame network. I can say, oh, please come again.
Fair enough.
But not network, yeah.
Okay, last one. I love this one.
As you have loved.
Never have I ever said, oh, I'm working on the project, only to realize that I need access to the documents later.
Not all done it.
God, we've got you.
All done it. Yeah, so it's interesting because this has only happened to me once, and it was a finance related work. So of course, we will talk about my career and all that. So my role is HR, right? So there are things that I do not like. So it was a payroll related stuff. We were doing tax audits, personal income tax audit, and it was I don't know how the finance manager managed to drop it on my desk, right? So I was not happy to do the job.
Fair enough.
So when she
you kept pushing it off.
So I think it was like she was reaching out on Friday and the tax was Monday. So after meeting, I just say, kindly grant access to this file. After I said on the call that, I'm working on it. But the good thing is, I know numbers, I know payroll. So
I know numbers. God.
I didn't go to
That's not you,
I had to spend Saturday and Sunday in the office. Hopefully, we don't have to talk about that.
What? Sorry?
I had to spend Saturday and Sunday in the office to get the work done. Yes, so.
I mean, but that was your doing.
Yeah, that was my doing.
So it's your fault. Yeah. Carry it.
Partially, yes.
And you were a lead in this role, yeah?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's my responsibility, Abby. Sorry. These are the people who are leading, Anyway.
Sorry.
Moving on.
Sorry. Okay, so now we're going to talk about your early days, early childhood, just to kind of figure out why you decided HR. It's not everybody that just wakes up and says, I want to be putting my mouth and chicken my mouth in everybody's business, right?
Is that why you people think HR
Wait, relax.
I
want to know if you were a people person. Were you always facing the HR side, even when you were younger?
Okay, so that's a very interesting question. Now that you asked what happened when I was younger, I don't know how younger I should go. So I'm just going to start from secondary school. So, of course, secondary school I was in commercial class. I was in science class first, right? And then I moved to commercial class. And then after school, I was supposed to study in a canteen. I passed JAM. Don't look at me like that. Yes, I passed JAM. I passed my post-JAM too. But I was writing the wrong combination of subjects. And I did not even know. So...
The whole year.
I hope that nonsense doesn't happen anymore. So there was this nonsense that used to happen where UTME has their own requirements, school has their own requirements.
Yes.
Yeah, in fact, I know the year that I finally got admission, I know a lot of people that got admission into economics, but because they wrote the wrong combination, they had to move to economics education. And that was just ridiculous to me because their career and life literally changed because of ridiculous stuff like that. So I'd written accounting twice and I didn't get in. So it was my third JAM that I went to. So I went to OAU, right? Because some of my friends had even gained admission. So I used to go to OAU, take lectures for the fun of it, just live student life because I was tired of being the guy that didn't have admission. So
poor boy.
It was then that I was just in amongst undergraduates, right? So so what's your combination? They say that African bio, that kind of thing. So I'm like, I'm writing this.
Sorry, we can't relate.
Sorry. Okay.
You can't.
So I'm like, I'm writing this combination. Like, what are you coming to study again? Accounting. It's like, big bag. It means that this guy has made a major error. So right there, I went to a cafe, changed my subject combinations and added government. Now, take note that I never done government 3 years because I hated government in school. So I had to start reading for government. So that's how I wrote, that year I wrote JAM.
Sorry, wait, to cut you. this was before the exam.
Yeah,
that
so
you
this was
found-
before the exam.
Oh,
So
so it was
this was
not
before-
after the exam.
Yeah,
Lucky
so it was
you that
before
you went to
UTME.
chill.
Like, that
Right?
is so lucky.
God bless her from Kelawao. She was the one that like said, "Hey guy, come around if you're tired at all."
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys will go way back.
Yeah, we go way back. Yeah. See how
Such
you
a
know
drama
fellow
queen.
K drama fans.
Yes.
Yeah, so I picked economics as an accident because there was literally no other option that could fit into what I was now trying to change IMPOP to. So I'm like, okay, what's available? Economics. What do I need to write? Government. So that's how I studied economics. So as I entered school, I thought economics was like just demand and supply. I first enter school, I did
Scale
see
of preference, opportunity cost.
that one is okay. It's differentiation and integration that almost finished my life. I'm like, you will not tell me this one.
You
Anyway,
need for that maths.
I shall also through uni. So my uni days was very interesting. And that probably answers the question about have I always been people. So by the end of, some of us, by the end of 100 level, we already know that first class is not for us.
You know,
I don't
wow.
know, but you
So-
said some of us.
That one
so
self
you people,
day.
and that's why I some. I not say, I try not to fall into fallacy of generalization. But honestly, some of us knew at the end of 100 level that, first class is for God, it's not for you. so at the end of interestingly, and when I speak to undergraduate, I always say that one of the my major mistakes in uni was that I gave up my CGPA too early.
Yes, because it's always
100
redeemable up
level,
until
yeah.
300.
Because when I was now entering 400 level, one day I actually sat down, like something I never done my first 3 years. I actually did the mathematics and saw that I could have still finished with the 2-1.
Yeah.
Despite all the terrible grades.
Yeah.
Anyway, so at the end of 100 level, I'm like, economics is boring, but I have the next 3 years to live in this school. And it cannot be boring. I have to make sense of my life. So I started getting into social organizations. I was an ESCO throughout the year, 100 level, 200 level, 300 level. I was an ESCO in the fellowship. I was an ESCO in the department. I joined social organizations. I said I joined tax club. I was a friend of SFC. So I'd always been in that role that make me lead people, work with people, collaborate with people. Now, an interesting part, and this is a segue to I now got into HR. By 300 level, I did not know academic book, but I've always been very brilliant.
Yeah,
right?
I get that.
So
Okay.
I won a lot of competitions too. So there's this competition I won in 200 level that gave me an automatic internship.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
Right. So if you
You've been
start,
working from 200.
yeah.
From 100 level. Actually, even worked before I got into secondary school.
You
I did front desk for my dad.
Not bad.
people were such in a hurry to.
So
grow.
it wasn't in a hurry it was just responsibility. And it
Yeah.
was also the people around you.
Yeah.
I mean, so by 200 level in my department, people are already applying to work at Goldman Sachs.
By 100 level in
Bank of
in
America.
Covenant,
Thank
you
God, you
start
went to
it is
Covenant.
compulsory. You will intern. By the time you've interned in 100 level, 200 level, you do your compulsory internship. You just be like, okay, 300, okay.
Yeah.
Immediately, in fact, when I was waiting for NYSC, is it mobilization? I be call up. I still intern for 2 months.
Yeah, so in 300 level, there are a lot of Covenant guys that entered at KPMG. In fact, everybody know
Steady.
KPMG Covenant. They're hand in hand, right? So I entered at Meristem and Afri Invest. I was supposed to enter at KPMG. That's why I mentioned KPMG and Accenture, but something happened. So by the time I came back, I'm like, nah, this finance is not for me. So I'm like, okay, but I didn't know what I wanted to do next, right? So there was in 400 level, I won. No. 300 level, I won another competition. So the chairman of the competition was an outgoing FYB person, and she was not a finance person. I'm like, you are in economics, you're not doing finance. What are you doing? She said, I'm doing HR. Oh, what's that about? Oh, go and research about it. Yeah, so I went to
I
research.
go and ask Google.
Which is really a good way to help
Came
people learn more.
Yeah, so I went to research, came back. I'm like, okay, so what do I need to do to start a career in HR? And that's how I started a career in HR.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That person is such a pivot. Just that conversation, and it changed
Boom.
your life.
Bro,
The
God
direction of
bless
your life. That's
Auntie
interesting.
Koya Funto, wherever she is. She's in Germany now.
I love the fact that he keeps calling all their names.
Names.
God bless Orifunke Lawal.
I love
God
it.
bless Auntie Koya. I'm like, you know what? I rate it.
I rate it.
Yeah, I mean, you have
But
to.
it's the women. One thing about women.
We achieved.
Let me tell you something about Nigerian women.
You guys are out.
Jones.
I
We
respect you
achieved
guys.
like mad. I love it.
Anyway, so you've had significant roles at companies like Big Cabal, Carry Wise, General Electric. What key experiences from these roles have influenced your approach to HR and management? And I mean, we see all these things where like people are like, HR is not your friend, and you're always like, what do you guys mean? Is this how you guys are saying? So I understand now that your approach to it is maybe not the most popular style. So let's talk about that.
Okay, very interesting. I like that you asked that. So even though I started doing HR from before NYSC, I worked with a wonderful woman called Aramide Abe.
Another lovely woman.
Yeah.
One thing about women.
Yeah, no, Aramide Abe is, hopefully you guys get big enough to be able to invite her. Like, she's amazing. I can do you guys an introduction.
Thank you.
She had an MBA at INSEAD. You cannot write the story of Nigerian startup community without Aramide Abe. Yeah. So then she ran a community. How it happened, another very interesting thing. So remember, I was like a leader in union and stuff. So she was supposed to be one of the speakers, and then Nigeria happened. She could not get visa, be flights, everything she mixed up. So we had to have her virtually. So I was the one that managed the whole media, engineering, everything. That's how I got her contact. So we used to view each other's WhatsApp. So there's time she said she was coming to Nigeria. No, she had an event in Nigeria. I needed volunteer. I'm like, auntie me. Yeah, so that's how I volunteered with her at first. So when I graduated, she told me that, I see you're smart, Can you do this for me? So I started with community management.
Right.
Then I moved to recruitment assistant. Right. So I managed the recruitment for the startups in our community. That was like my first interaction with HR. But when I moved to GE, which is where I feel like my HR career, I like to say that I built the roots of my HR career at GE. And the wings and branches spread when I was at CareerWise. So my role at GE was a support role, HR analyst, but that one is English. You know, we both people understand. It was literally support.
Yeah.
And I was supporting everybody. So GE, of course, where you were reading from. So GE is a Fortune 500 company. Although I worked with Nigerian branch. My first manager sat in Texas. Yeah. So I worked with like Nigerian HR. Then I started working with like SSA HR. So that means that I worked with people in Ghana, in Kenya, South Africa, Rwanda at some point. And then I also worked with like HR BPs outside Africa. So it meant that someone said that like when I was leaving G, someone described me as a sponge. It was like Emmanuel Faith is a sponge, always soaking in knowledge. Yes, so I also worked across businesses, even in G. So I worked with healthcare, renewable energy. I think I worked with G Power at some point. So it was a lot of learnings from a lot of people simultaneously. Right. I remember that there's one thing that I, for example, used to do. There's a woman, her name is a woman. There's a woman. HR, she was the HR business partner. Now I think she's the country or even regional something. But then she was HR business partner in Nigeria and HR business partner G Power Sub-Saharan Africa. When her name is Bethel Wanare. When she comes into the office, so G was like 3 floors. She would walk to every desk and say hi.
Wow.
I noticed you did that when you came in, where you did was really come to say hi to me. Let me say hi to crew. And I liked that though.
Yeah, so like that it was unconscious, but like he sent me a message. And she's not just saying hi, she say, "Oh, hi, you wanna how was that exam that you took? Or did it go well? Oh, hi Toyin, how was your uncle's party?"
Wow.
First, how did you even know about all this thing, about all these people? And like it just that kind of interaction is very pivotal because you are then able to have like work-related conversation.
Yeah.
When you are saying, "Oh, Joanna, you didn't meet your target," it doesn't sound like a witch.
Yeah.
Because it's like someone that you have a relationship with tell you that, "Oh, you didn't meet your target. What do we need to do together?"
Yeah.
Right. So just having, and I think that that sort of has helped me in all my roles. Like I was answering I think it was a podcast with a consumer yesterday, and so it was like, "Oh, has someone resigned suddenly on you?" Like, no, it has never happened. Because before the management knew, I would know.
Yeah.
As by the time they are putting in 1 month's notice, I'm just laughing. Because I probably knew that the staff was leaving like 3 months before. So that personal, establishing like personal relationship with people and let people know that even when you are making decisions that does not favor them, you have their best interest in mind. That's one from a soft skill perspective.
Yeah.
And then from an hard skill perspective, because again, I work with different people. So I'm doing talent management with this HR in Nigeria. I'm doing employer branding with this HR in Port Harcourt. I'm doing maybe performance management with this HR in Rwanda. So like I was working simultaneously across different functions for different people. So by the time I got into CareerWise, where I was the lead, it was literally everything I had learned coming to life.
Yeah.
So I think that's I cannot write my HR journey. No matter how many, I don't know how many companies I will work with before I leave capitalism.
Real.
Are you still in capitalism? I know that she is looking to leave.
Looking to leave.
Yes, so
I mean, I've had no left.
okay. Yeah,
I've switched lanes.
right? So I don't know how many companies I will work with before I leave capitalism. I'm putting out there I'm leaving capitalism. Yeah.
I hold you to it.
Yeah.
Millionaires should not exist.
No, I would go into like my passion projects, like women football and all that.
Oh.
Yeah, so but, like G would always be like a very pivotal part of my HR journey.
I can really hear how that, played into your perspective, like how you choose to deploy, your task and do things that you're supposed to do as a HR
even like HR
professional.
processes.
Yeah, makes sense.
Interesting. I think it's so interesting how people can just change you. Like you just interact with
Yes.
Without
them
them
for
knowing.
Yes.
it's so
Sometimes just even
I'm not even sure that
shining
I've
your
told
light.
Bethel's this.
Yes, just doing your thing sometimes shines such a bright light. I've said it's that like a lot of, if someone says I am kind today, that there's a lot of me just looking at like, oh wow, you can do that as an act of love to someone. Maybe I need to add that to my repertoire of skills. Do you get it's so transformative to be around people who are, living well because it shows up on you.
so interesting. Well, back to HR now. HR.
It's not like we ever left.
But so now this is more for people who want to move to more mid and senior roles, more senior roles, right? So what do you think is the difference between like the junior roles and then the more senior roles, right? What are the skills? What are the major differences?
What would you be looking for? That would be a differentiating factor that like someone came to you and said, I feel like I've been stuck in this junior role for the last 2 years and I don't know, I just feel like I have all the hard skills or whatever. I don't know, what else is missing?
Okay, you guys want to make me do a HR masterclass? I wanted to say I would time myself. Okay, so pretty much interesting. The difference between like junior role and senior role is strategy. And I like to put this disclaimer out there that as you have listened, I didn't have the conventional HR like trajectory. A lot of people do junior for like 2-3 years. I mean, now I'm currently job searching and like I'm seeing roles. So I see role. First I see the rumination. I'm like, nah, this is not
So
it.
real.
And then I now see like the to do. I'm like, I've done this 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Did you get?
Yes.
So my story is like very, very unique. But generally, most people start out their HR like just doing admin stuff, admin and operations, right? And so the major difference is really operations versus strategy. So I would give 2 illustrations. Again, this happened this week when I interviewed with a company. So they created a scenario and then like I responded. So it was a case, there was a talent that was on probation. Right. I made the talent on probation. So I did probation. He failed his probation, by the way. A junior HR, the next step is to let the staff go.
Yeah.
A senior HR is thinking, 1, what role is this person? 2, do I have to let this person go? 3, what is the succession planning? Succession planning means that what are the people, do we have people that can replace him internally? If no, how can we get, so there's something called knowledge transfer in HR. How soon can we get all the knowledge that he has? Interestingly, it was like a sales role, right? So all his leads, all his pipeline, how do we get that transferred? Lastly, do I actually want to let him go if it would take me another 30 days to find another person?
Yes. What do we lose in that time?
And then take another 30 days to onboard the person. Instead of spending that 2 months, can I give him extra 2 months to prove himself?
Yeah.
Which is what I did in that scenario. Which now came true. I mean, he usually won the staff of the quarter like 6 months after his probation.
Interesting.
That's literally the difference between senior and junior.
Yeah.
Junior think operations, like senior think strategy. And that means that senior always like partner with business.
Snap your finger. We say that poetry.
What?
I hope we don't get to the poetry part of me. Yeah, so senior also like partners with like business leaders.
I was about to make a silly poetry joke. So in the still of my heart,
I'm about to.
Oh God.
I'm about to.
but let's continue.
Yes, so senior also like partner have like very business centric. That's why we have roles like HR business partner. Right, so they are saying this is the direction that the business is going. How can I align people's strategy? For example, you see a company say, "Oh, now I want to do internship program." They do not just wake up and feel good. It's a strategy. They're either trying to enhance their employer branding.
Yeah.
They want more people to know about them. If you put out an undergraduate internship, you are reaching like millions of students.
Students, yes.
Even if it's 400 people that you take, 40,000 people now know your name.
Yeah.
Right? Companies do not just wake up and say, I want to do campus ambassadors program. We are not that nice, trust me.
Yeah.
It's an employer branding strategy. That's his senior. We want to do a graduate training program. We want to revise our compensation strategy. We now want more people to be able to do their stock to cash as against waiting for 4 years.
Yeah.
They are trying to curb something. People are traveling.
Yeah.
Okay. What about we? Instead of waiting till 4 years, how about you're able to? There's a company doing that right now, by the way. I will not mention it. It's very top company.
Whisper to me later.
They are trying to enhance their retention rate.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then they are now doing so you can now, instead of waiting till 4 years to vest, what I'm saying is we give them a risk, I will not. But you cannot convert like your stock and like equity to cash at the end of the year. That's the retention strategy. So I have 50,000 units in stock, but if I convert it, I know I'm getting like 12k USD.
Yeah.
That's not for me to immediately travel about it. So maybe 12k USD extra, right? Yeah. So just those high level strategy implementation. That's what differentiates senior from like junior roles. So if you are a junior person, start thinking. So they asked me to do this talent recruitment. When I'm done, can I create a data report? Can I say this is the trend I noticed from this? So for our next recruitment, I suggest we do this. Can you start thinking the strategy bit of the operational work that you do?
Yeah.
I think that does.
And I think this cuts across beyond just, you being a HR professional, because this also makes sense in terms of like, let's say a software engineer that's a junior versus like a senior, like there's
why you're writing this code, what's this design?
Yeah, so it's no longer you
landing
being
page.
think about it like you being like a mercenary, almost like you're the hands, you just do like, okay, take this one and go and do. Take this one. You have to go beyond being a hand to being a brain.
To think
like, why
about
you
it,
doing
the
this
structure.
kind of thing, that kind of
It's more like responsibility, and you're just taking ownership of that
Yeah.
part of a business.
The-
That's so interesting.
The other thing though, like I think is like the other side of the coin to this particular, point is in doing this, I feel like we think that it's a no-brainer that like when you make these like sort of high-level calls in a junior role, like it will be automatically visible. But yes, I have a question about that. Like, what
very
would you
good.
do? What do you need to do to optimize for visibility that ends up in you transitioning?
Very good.
Yeah.
That's a very brilliant question. You were smart. Wow.
Are you shocked?
Wow. My hosts are very brilliant. Please come and buy their stock early.
Thank
Before they
you.
start listing your New York Stock Exchange.
Listen now.
Buy their stock. Come and invest in them.
WTNG. Watimagwa.
Okay, so that's a very brilliant question to ask. And even, and like that was the lesson I also had to pick up at G. So very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So I worked on a project and won an award. But again, remember I was reporting to multiple managers.
Yes.
I had my line manager. So my line manager sat on the award.
Of course, that happens.
And said that you people, the person that are giving the award is not doing my own job.
Yeah.
Right? And so remember that she sits in Texas. So that's like how 3 of my HRs in Nigeria are like, Auntie, we don't know what's up, but Emmanuel Faith that we know in G Lagos is one of our best entry-level talents, right? You guys should sit down, align your KPIs to ensure that he's not missing out on his major assignment.
Yes.
But over here in Nigeria, he's our superstar,
Yeah.
right? And, that happened because of many things that we later learn. But the takeaway is, one is not actually document. One is know who your important stakeholders are. Who is going to take me to the next level? And how do I buy? Sometimes your team lead is not your stakeholder.
Yes.
You probably have heard like the term career sponsor.
Yes.
Sometimes there is someone else. A practical illustration. There's one of my friends. She's not in Canada. When she was at she did her NYC at KPMG, and she was, of course, thank God, when you're trying to like get retained, it's like battle, right? And so one of the things that I used to reference her when I'm quoting like skills and stuff. One of the things that stood her out was that she was very bad at presentations. Like, if she does presentation, you would think that it's Figma, right? So she was always doing presentation for people, even outside that department. By the time time was up, our department could not retain her. Not even because she was not good, but there was limited budget.
Yeah.
2 other departments were fighting for her.
That girl.
Because like she kept on doing work that was like visible to other stakeholders, even outside our department.
Yes.
Flip side is I also have a friend who entered with Bank of America. And was it Bank of America? Yeah, it was Bank of America. And she was
See, I'm keeping on these names because I must find them.
Just like mention names,
yeah,
drop their names.
so she was interning and she was a law student. She was interning in finance, stockbroking, yada yada. So she did like numbers, right? And what she kept on saying is, I love my work, but numbers is frustrating. And so she was unconsciously like passing a message. Guess what? Towards the end, so there's a program, there is like a competition that all of them do, right? So towards the end, it was like 6th week. I think they do the presentation like end of 7th week for an 8-week program. And she had our team had got the highest mark and she had the highest presentation. For context, she's finished from OAU and she was competing with people that did BSc at Yale, Harvard, Oxford, everything. And it was like a moment of like, oh, so I'm this smart. But guess what? It was too late. Because all the people that could have retained her, she had
kept
unconsciously.
saying that-
So, of course, our team could not retain her because there was limited budget.
Yeah.
But there were genuine partners that were interested in, oh my God, you studied law and you can speak finance like this. But because it was already too late to make that decision just because of the unconscious body language that
Yes.
she had passed across. So, know who your stakeholders are. The second part is, of course, like document your wins.
Yes.
Document the things you are doing and always think about how what you are doing today aligns to the business goals ultimately. Yeah, it's very important to be able to tie what you do every day, you know. There's someone that says, if I'm sweeping the room, if I'm sweeping the office, how does it tally to business goals and just be able
You
to
write
like,
it on LinkedIn, so I take charge of the atmosphere, ensuring that there are no distractions. And
you create a productivity optimized environment.
that's why you're the HR. That's why you're the HR.
Can I, sorry, just shift your garment a little bit close. Make I
Yeah,
just,
you can touch
let me
it.
just touch it.
That was too smooth and too fast.
They bet you leave you.
Yeah.
I felt something drop.
Wow.
You know what? I have another really important question. When it comes to assessing or ensuring a candidate's alignment with the company's cultures and values, especially for more senior roles, I know we've touched on it, but like you now as a person, you have someone that has maybe demonstrated, what's that thing called? Track record.
Yeah,
And all of these things.
Yeah.
Are there any specific qualities that are maybe intangible? Because track record is relatively tangible.
You
You
can
know, all
see
of
the
these
numbers
things.
and
Are there any attributes or traits that you are specifically looking for that you believe are most crucial for success in those types of positions?
Yeah.
So this is a tricky question, especially when it comes to like culture and stuff. One, especially for senior roles. So one is depending on the kind of role. Is it role? There's some role, of course, all senior roles require like total ownership.
Yes.
But there are some roles that actually require we call it managerial acumen. Yeah. So how diplomatic can you be? How responsive are you to situations that you did not expect?
Yeah.
One of the most very interesting interviews that I've had like recently was with BCG. So the final round was with the president of BCG Nigeria and the head of recruitment of BCG Sub-Saharan Africa. And like they asked me very intelligent questions. Like, of course I didn't get the job. But I mean, so I got a feedback from the hiring manager that both of them actually liked me. And for me that was like the biggest feedback of the year.
Very
you mean that both of
validating.
them liked me? Wow. No, you actually use they liked you a lot. Yeah.
But was there a specific reason to
No, yeah, so it was a specialist role.
Oh, okay.
And my role as so they found someone who was a specialist.
specialist.
But like that's where I'm going. So the kind of questions that they asked me, I'm like, yeah, I know what you guys are testing for.
Yeah.
So like how do you react to emergency? When things are not going your way, how do you react? That's one part. The second part is collaboration. So people always watch out for people that use I versus people that use we or I worked with. I led versus I did. Because at senior, yes, there are some things that you will do. Or there are some things that you led people to do.
Yeah.
You coordinated people to do.
Yeah.
And the
versus
last
just taking
All the glory,
I get that. I get that completely. And it's so subliminal, but it's there.
very, very pivotal. And then I think the last is just general vibe check.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's
Yeah,
just
because sometimes you just like, what's going
do
on
you
with
get
this
it?
person?
And like it's very minor. It might be as I think it was another interview, one top company that so because the manager liked me a lot, she actually gave me feedback. She's like, hey, like I love when you speak but you gesticulate too much.
I think there's a particular. I
Personally,
remember a
I'm like-
particular scenario like
I love
this.
when people are animated, so I don't mind. But
like-
I have an issue when non-problematic body language becomes a problem for people. Personally, I don't.
So some people find it distracting. Like, I was so glad that she gave me that feedback.
Yeah.
Because, so you would be surprised that, like, imagine that, you didn't make it to the next stage. Why? Because we are gesticulating too much.
There was,
Right?
there was even a particular scenario where the person said, "Oh, the person you're going to be talking to is an American, but as a Nigerian, when you're excited, you speak so fast. If you don't tone it down, they can't hear you."
Yes.
And that was very important because in the next interview, I definitely slowed down and
So that
it
they were able to
helped me
catch
get
up
the job.
with-
But it was because they liked my vibe, that they gave me that feedback.
That feedback.
And,
So
that's
these
real.
very minute things. I was at the fintech operators very recently, and someone was talking about why they didn't hire, a very senior person, senior legal counsel. And, she was like, it was the CEO of the fintech. She was like the person was technically sound. But they kept on saying something is off. Something is
Yes.
off. So the final stage was with the CEO.
Yeah.
So after the call, the CEO just said, hi, we are not hiring this person.
Oh, hello.
And she was like, we've done 4 rounds of interviews.
Yeah.
And the CEO now responded that, did you notice that every time you asked a question, he looked at me to answer?
Yeah. So it was. He had a subconscious bias against the women.
God bless you.
Yeah.
So
And he
it
wasn't
might
even
be-
aware.
Yeah,
do
that's
you
the
get?
most
I think that's
annoying
the painful
one
part. The fact that
sometimes.
you don't even know
even realize.
that this
Yes.
is what someone is checking. So
Yeah.
very
I know.
minor, but
That
also
makes
very
sense. I'm like this
consequential.
question. My next question is not actually on my list, but I'm just thinking like vibe check. But that's so, and I understand it because I trust my intuition about people.
Yeah.
But how do you, as a HR professional, how do you guard against the halo effect
Yeah.
Vibe
versus
check,
the
yeah.
That's a very valid question to
Because
ask.
it's like, oh yeah, I mean you know the vibes, but like how do you know that you're just not giving someone a fair chance?
Very good question. I wrote a LinkedIn, so I have a LinkedIn newsletter now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually wrote a whole post about recruitment bias.
Yeah.
So halo effect, on effect,
Yeah.
recency, all that. Why do you think that for final stages of interview there is always at least 2 people?
At least to be okay. Yeah.
So it's literally to get like a balanced POV.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so in fact, sometimes for some companies, for example, at Carrywise, we intentionally bring in someone that was not in all the previous stages.
Yeah.
Right,
I've
okay.
noticed that.
Yeah, that you were not part of, so come and join this one, join this final one. And then there's just a way that, again, because of the caliber of people, for example, when I was at Carrywise, there was someone we used to call Carrywise culture custodian. She was this, I think she's still the CX lead, right? She's like, I think the 3rd employee or the 4th employee in the company. So she literally knows
The in and
people
out, yeah.
that would thrive and people that would not thrive. So there is rarely no interview that happens, especially for senior roles, that Eno does not join because
Right.
she's just like that litmus check. So
And she doesn't
even
even have to
both.
talk.
And it's a very valid yeah, I get that.
Yeah, so it's always, you always have at least 2 people. Some people do 3, some people do 4. It's just to have like a balanced POV to ensure that there is not an unconscious bias somewhere.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Interesting.
Now I'm
it's
sounding
master
very
class,
serious.
so
Please,
yeah.
can we
Like,
move to more fun
You
stuff?
know, maybe I should,
channeled my HR
maybe I
coach.
should dip my toes back into capitalism because I've gotten nuggets.
Like you feel like you can just walk in and
I'm
get things
empowered to win right now.
I'm screaming.
I mean, it's just a sign that I know my stuff. It's not
Right.
easy.
It's obvious. It's showing. Like that.
I know my
Level,
stuff.
like-
I know my
We've
stuff.
talked about the things you can see, but we also want to know like the red flags, right? This one, once you see it in a potentially senior hire, you are just like, this is a red flag, and we're not going with this.
Okay, so that's interesting because I often think, again, maybe because if you get to that stage, we have things that will point you out. But I often think that most senior people, I mean, that's why they are senior, they have required soft skills, required technical skills. So except there is like an unconscious red flag, like that one that I just gave, or there is also sometimes interest does not align. Sometimes you just know that this person is coming to your company for personal reasons,
Yeah.
which are not negative, but personal reason might be, I want Kairos on my CV.
Yes.
I want Paystack on my
that's
CV.
a red flag. That's one of the red flags.
Sometimes I get that actually.
So if I'm looking for someone that
would
would join me,
I want you to expatiate on that.
yeah, for example, if I'm looking for someone to join me for like 18 months, I will not mind. But if I'm looking for someone to lead the direction of something, I remember that when I was at Carrywise, we were interviewing for a finance manager. And like we had never had a finance manager before. And the whole idea was because even one of his co-founders was like a finance person.
Okay.
But he didn't want to do the finance part of the organization because he wanted to focus on bigger things. And so I remember that we interviewed 4 candidates at the final stage, and all of them were competent. But the person we hired, very interesting. She's a single mom. She's a JW.
Oh.
Okay.
That answers everything I need about the finance manager.
Oh.
Because she's an home manager.
Wow.
I mean,
She's managed the home and everything. And you understand JW's perspective to
That
work.
makes sense. That makes sense.
To numbers, to like it was like I said, if someone had called me the next day to say I need a finance manager, I would recommend one of the 3 other guys.
Yes.
But for her, like it was just
No-brainer.
yeah. And then she was also looking to move to an hybrid. So she had worked with First Bank, like all these corporate. So she was looking to move to a place where she can innovate.
Yeah.
As against being a clog in the wheel of process. Then she was also looking for a flexible environment because of her 2 kids.
Yes.
Yeah, and like Carrywise provided that because we're hybrid. They're company. You don't have to clock in by 8. You can I'm just come in at 2 p.m. and go at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Come in by 2 p.m., go by 5, whatever works for you, right? So Carrywise also sort of met our own expectations. Yeah, so
that makes sense.
But you've so they're not a list of red
so they're not
flags.
exactly list. Again,
But- Because again, it's supposed to be sort of practical. I'm trying to see like scenarios where you can just tell that this is not good, and it's not a bad thing outside of the context, but for you it's just like this hire, if this person behaves like this, then it's a red flag in this context.
Okay, so I think I was on a podcast recently. It was hosted by Gen Z. So I'm like, Gen Z is like 3 tips, 4 tips. So let's
Wow.
do.
Are you helping us?
Let's no. What am I?
I'll have you know I'm a zillennial.
So let's say 4 tips. 1, because it's a senior hire, they definitely have definite goals. So do their short-term goals, forget long-term, forget 5 years. By the way, I don't ask people because I don't know what I want to do in 5
think
years.
it's a ridiculous question.
I do know. I don't know what I'll be doing tomorrow.
I know
So-
they even answer.
But
Don't tell me.
do their like short-term goals align with yours? For example, just the time that I wanted to hire a data analyst, and the person was doing masters and was doing PhD. I remember my CEO was like, but boy, smart, but Sheko were confused, right? It literally means that this guy is very smart, but he's not confused.
Yeah.
Because why are you a data person and you are doing PhD in? So he was not doing PhD in data, by the way. He was doing PhD in his bachelor's was in agric something. Then his master's was in, I think, poetry and something. And then his PhD was in something related.
Agric
But
still.
like technically, the guy actually had like a trajectory of data.
Okay.
So the question is, why do you have this technical journey that is averagely successful? And you're still pursuing, if you're doing a PhD in data and algorithm something, I will not mind. Data and AI, I will not mind. But data, what is agric?
So would it have been wiser for him to have probably withheld that information?
Yes, actually.
So
It might have been like
that's-
healthy for.
Fair.
How is that alignment of goals? Where is that person at the moment? Secondly, it might sound distant, but for a culture like Nigeria, it sounds very personal, but it's also very important. Where is the person at in terms of migration and in terms of like family? Right. So, for example, just the time that we interviewed someone whose wife and first son were in Germany already. So, like, how much do you want to pay you to keep you away from your wife?
You would leave eventually.
You just want to like do it. And like, I remember I owed him like a specific feedback that, hey, like, there's nothing wrong with you.
Love you, but
We love you,
sorry.
but this role requires because you're
enough.
literally building
Yeah.
out a pipeline. So that's second. The third would be very minor behavioral consequences, like the one I talked about,
Yeah.
the person that, was answering the guy when a woman was asking
Yeah,
a question.
especially in the context of what the company values. your core values.
Right. Yes. So that's just alignment of behavioral values. So those are like
Fair.
major
Yeah,
things
I
too.
think that.
I like that.
Question.
Actually, thank you for pressing him. Because look at the orange juice just came out now.
Hey,
Pressing
Jesus,
neck.
this like a one. Please, can you not ask me an HR question again? The other part of my life. This is like an hour masterclass in HR that you are getting for free. If you do not subscribe and share this podcast, I will
Yes,
show up in your
You
dream.
are so real for that. You are so
You
real
are
for
getting
that.
free knowledge. What do you mean? Anyway,
You know what?
Thank you.
yeah, this is a sign to come and book a 1 hour consultation with me.
That's
So
right.
your life will change afterwards, I promise.
I love the it's so confident. He said your life would. It's not me. It's not.
My life is changed right now, so
These are my living witnesses,
Yeah.
testimonies. Even our
If you need
director
testimonial,
is.
just quickly.
see, director has been doing
It just
nuggets.
Money.
Director
Time
just
sheet, time
oh, nuggets. Whoa.
I'm not sure that they were there
for
editing
like 10 minutes after you said that something productivity something, he was like, whoa, like.
Nah, this guy is sabi.
Love it. Love
Okay.
So
it.
we have a question,
Yeah.
but this one is not our question. We have more questions for you, but this
Okay,
one is
let's
from our community
Community,
members.
Oh, cute. Yeah. you
Yes,
guys
yeah.
have
So
a-
we have people writing, and yeah, it says, "My name is Tunde, and I am a mid-level software engineer at a startup in Lagos. I've been in this role for a couple of years now, and I feel ready to move into a senior position. However, I'm struggling to get notice for promotion. Despite consistently meeting my targets and even leading a few successful projects, I feel like I'm being overlooked. I've tried discussing my career goals with my manager, but the feedback I receive is often vague and doesn't provide a clear path forward. I'm starting to feel frustrated and uncertain about my future here. What steps can I take to make a stronger case for promotion and ensure my contributions are recognized?" I think you have touched on this in a way, but if you feel like there's anything that can be tailored, you can add to that.
Yeah, so an additional thing to the things that I've highlighted in
Yeah.
the documents, showing and all that is know the company's capacity. So I give this feedback when I'm talking about
I
pay.
love that.
So I give this feedback when I'm talking about like pay, compensation.
Yeah.
But it might also work in terms of like career progression.
Yes.
So when you are in like a mid role, for instance, so you've been there, say 4 years. First question, the person that was your manager, that is your manager, how long has the person been there?
Yes.
Right. This person looks like he's leaving anytime soon.
So when they
You
go
know,
put
I
you-
always say this
when they
thing
go put you-
because
So one of the reasons why I love startups is, and I really enjoyed my pretty short time at Big Cabal, is just the opportunity to grow. So if you're not growing in a startup, there's a big problem because you can literally expand laterally, vertically, or horizontally.
What?
There are people that just say they want to
Just they
do.
do ali up.
There are people that say they want to do like content marketing, and that's all they do. Different kind of content marketing.
Yeah.
And there's some people that go from content marketing to content marketing manager.
Yeah.
To product marketing to product marketing manager.
Yeah.
So you can grow like this, you can grow like this.
Yes.
So if you are not growing, voila, deal.
There's a problem.
So you like my first thought is actually like leave. Right?
Yes.
Document, rework your resume, rework your LinkedIn, join top communities. You know, I feel like software engineers are in high demand.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's not. I've tried to ask myself, it's like an illusion, but it's not an illusion because like I'm in the space. So even people, I see how people pick up contract projects.
Yes.
Roles that like support are more difficult. Before you think about one marketer, you already think about 3 engineers, right? So like dust up your resume, dust up your LinkedIn, realign your profile. If you have to talk people to like brand you up, or I do not think so. The company is not even being unfair to you. Maybe your manager is being unfair to you by not being transparent.
Yes.
But I do not think the company is even being unfair to you. It's just there is no capacity
For it.
for you
I get
to
it.
grow.
Right. Thank you so much for that. That actually made sense. So we're going to the rapid fire session. It's quick.
Dun, dun, dun.
No.
Sounds like bullets.
No. Think about it. Like.
Do you play chess?
I actually don't play chess, but
That's when I don't.
are you doing rapid fire for me? I mean, I'll be
Abio.
doing your rapid-
Because why
Focus on
you
yourself.
ask now?
Yeah. It sounds
play
like
chess.
everyone to put me on. Shoot.
You go run tram. Oh yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Watch the game at home or in the stadium.
In a stadium.
Of course.
I never do one before, sure. God go provide money.
Ew. Don't worry, very soon. Video calls or emails?
Emails. I like writing.
Oh, the poetry part is coming out. And you said we shouldn't say it too. Anyway, sneakers or shoes?
Sneakers, I'm right.
Oshie. Jackpot will stay in Nigeria. Why?
My next employer
Oh
might
my
be
God.
watching this.
It was like we got him in 4K. Like,
What a crook.
So at the moment, stay in Nigeria. At the moment, yeah, emphasis on at the moment.
such an HR thing to say.
Yeah.
Diplomatic. Okay, wristwatch or shade?
Wristwatch. I love wristwatch.
Interesting.
I
Because
really do love
see,
this one.
see, guys.
Oh yeah.
Guys,
wear it too.
I literally called him the bunch because he was about to wear it.
You dey wear the two.
Yeah. But I
okay.
really love. I mean, I wear shades like once in a blue moon.
Okay,
But
fair enough.
even if my wristwatch is not working, you shall see me wearing wristwatch.
Yeah,
So
nah.
real for that.
This one, you better answer the one you are. Playlist or podcast?
Playlist.
Azam.
That is very. Let me tell you, your character is bad.
And
But is that quick fire now?
Go and
Yes.
do-
You know what? You're here by exiled. Leave this
Go and
stage.
do
Leave this
your
stage.
playlist.
Madam.
So it's interesting.
Oga,
Like,
you have my video.
so I started listening to
Wow,
podcasts in
wow.
2021. So I now have like podcast in my like routine.
I hope
Right?
this podcast, even though it has not been released, is on your playlist.
Immediately, you guys, I will follow and
He
tweet
go
about
enter.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, you have redeemed yourself. Okay, that's
Thank you.
fine.
He's on the path to redemption.
Okay, we should not.
Okay.
You guys are on Twitter. I think I followed you guys. Are you on Twitter?
Yes, now.
Yeah, I
In
followed you
context
guys.
pod.
Yes.
In context _pod.
Pod.
So I'm going to tweet about it. Yeah,
Oh.
so.
You're so real.
Thank you. Movies or series?
If it's K-drama series.
I knew it. I was gonna call it. But yes.
Yes, if it's
It
K-drama
stays true. It
series.
stays true.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Freelance or 9 to 5?
I like the structure that comes with 9 to 5.
Hey, I thought you wanted
So
to
that
say
means
both.
you
Don't
checking
finish
out.
there.
Yeah, so
You
9 to
checking
5.
out of capitalism.
You
Is
just
a
got
pipe
cabo.
dream.
Oh no, so the goal is to make in like 10 years. Like so, like I've given myself 10 years.
So after that,
Oh.
10 years.
Don't see in the front, though.
Come on.
I want to build. I want to like. I'm making enough money, stock, equity, cash,
Ooh.
to the extent that like if I now like get out of that structure, I mean like 10 years time, I will also have a lot of structure personally. Yes, so I'll be able to do
Fair
what I
enough.
like.
You're
Okay.
saying it like it's tomorrow that.
No man.
Come on here.
why you know they follow
I thought we were rubbing shoulders.
Don't follow person. Don't follow anybody. Do
10 years, not
anything.
today far like that. Obari was here 8 years. Do you remember?
Oh God, we don't like sad news.
I was gonna say affliction shall not rise the second time, but I realized
I'm literally done.
that let's just not
Let's leave
not
it on
say
the-
anything.
let's continue.
Please.
I digress.
Yeah, let's come
Yeah,
back
two
from
more.
this segue.
Cook
Yeah.
or order food.
How that food new?
Now wow. Yeah, in shout deck. Yeah, the.
Chowdeck, please come and sponsor Chowdeck. I'm doing PR for you people. Chowdeck, come and sponsor. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a
last
big
one.
fan of Chowdeck here.
Notion or Google Suits.
Notion, of course. I was thinking that
Oh,
you.
that is very bad of you.
Bad of you.
So I was thinking that you do Notion or Coda.
No. Notion or
Oh
Google
God,
Suits.
you're not the examiner. We're giving you the exact question.
Yes, so
pick
not-
the right answer. Say Google. Let me hear
Google
you.
actually. Google Suits. Oh no, so like of course Google Suits. Notion is very complicated. I like
But you
it.
just said Notion.
Yeah, so
I'm glad you know it's complicated.
It's
Because
complicated.
those of us that we are neurodivergent, that we are
just
okay.
want somebody
Actually,
to move to
neurodivergent
Google
is a broad spectrum. But those of us with ADHD,
Yeah.
Excuse me. She's
Notion
from her
is not-
agenda. She's not into Notion at all.
I honestly,
Yeah.
no.
So that's why
I don't
she
know.
would be
Like,
Google Suits.
here's
then-
here's an organizational tool to make organization much more difficult. That's how I feel about Notion.
Well,
I know.
I mean, I know that it's definitely useful for quite a ton of people. I just don't think it's very friendly for my brain.
yeah, for your brain. So
Yeah.
I feel like I've used Coda. Of course, everybody uses Google Suits, right? So I've used Coda and Notion. So the debate is actually between Coda and Notion. Like if you ask that, I would pick Coda.
So what
but-
did they try to tell us now?
Google-
They say we not sabi set exam
No,
question.
madam. We know why we put them down.
Okay, yeah. So Google Suits wins then. Google Suits.
Hey, I will have exiled you just now. I'll go come out here teach just.
I am sorry.
Yeah,
I pay obeisance. You know.
Anyway,
Good.
that is the last part of
Yes.
our rapid fire questions.
That was cute. That was.
Yes, it was very, very cute. So now I think this question is very dear to your heart.
Oh. Okay.
So, you know that your HR, that's actually my friend that did this video. Your HR is not your best friend. Your HR is not your
Tony-
best buddy.
Tony Vocas. Tony.
Don't go be telling HR what he did during the weekend.
I said
Just,
you're mimicking it.
just
Tony, let me sub you.
I'll actually ask her in the video where she was all like, so what are some common misconceptions that you want
This one I
to
want to hear.
dispel
See, I'm even-
about, being in the HR industry?
That your HR is not your best friend.
That was such an easy.
No. So I had a Twitter space earlier this year. I think me, Victor, Yikere, and a couple guys. And the whole idea was like, oh, yeah, you and Jinadu was there too. We was like, should HR be your best friend? So I think the problem is that it's not a problem. Yeah, it's a perception problem. So HR is a people-facing role.
Yeah.
We face people the most. Like we know about, if you hide, we know about people more than any other role. I used to tell like employees that, you see, if you want to beef someone, it's because people have not interacted with finance. Hey, Jesus. My role requires me to interact with finance.
I did interact with finance in my last major like 95 role, and oh my god, I was like, if I call her name, she will know. Lola Day.
If you think that finance, if you think HRs are difficult people, you are not meant finance.
Oh my god, I had to make a case for even Biro, but I rate it sharp because she was doing her job well.
The reason why HR are always, getting the stick is that we interact with people. We literally have no option. We cannot run away.
Yeah.
A finance manager can be in a company 3 months and you don't even know what. You don't even know her name. Because maybe all the requisition, for example, go through your manager. You don't have any payroll issue, So, but HR is the one relating to you. Your birthday is HR. Your anniversary is HR. Promotion, demotion, probation.
HR.
Buy pizza, HR. So I think so.
Tech companies are pizza.
Not the sub also. They try to make you happy. You don't like pizza. You like her, you don't like her.
Okay, take us to the Smiths. Take us to the Smiths for brunch.
I'll just increase the salary by some percent.
To make the dragons. Make your talk say we use investor money, go Dubai. Shut down 3 years after. Anyway.
Valid, but we will have had a good time. We're here for a good time, not a long time.
Wow. Founders, can you see employees? Okay, so back home. So I think you should not be best friend with the office of the HR.
Right. Okay.
If the HR is your friend outside work, good. But the office of the HR is not your friend. The office of the HR exists to empower you to do the best work, enable you to do the best work, and ensure that you do the best work.
Sorry, did you see me doing Yimu just now? I did like this because me, I know HR is for the company,
and which is why it's very important that
I feel like you're coming there.
Yeah. So another thing that's existed is that we should know that there is a generational shift. So there is a way that our daddies and mommies
do HR.
And there's a way that from like 2015, 16, 17, 18. And like I'm even very happy with like this current HRs, like this Gen Z HRs. I feel like they are going to make like life very interesting for founders. Right? Because they are not ashamed to say, Mr. Founder, sorry sir, this thing that you want me to do, I'm not... Oh, bless you. I'm not ready to do it. Are you going to keep these people or do you want me to resign alongside them? I feel like that's the kind of
a revolution
we are now having. Like I see them on Twitter and I'm super excited. Like just about how much they are talking about. Now waiting with they see every day be this. No be just IRA and fire we did do. I think it was Felix Bisong that tweeted that he went to save employee from the police station. And like people are like, HR used to do this one too.
HR has done that for me. Oh yeah, we were on it.
You were arrested.
We
need to do never have I ever for you. Oluwatoyin, never have I ever slept in panty.
Allow me to land. I thought we were a team. And you follow, he will go with you. Two of you will go.
Answer the question.
Anyway, I was saying that. So we were on a company outing, right? And then the police car stopped. The police stopped the car and did not let us go because we made a video. And then they were really screaming.
You just irritated them.
We just quickly call HR because now send us message.
Like twice is up on first one. Taslim, if I catch you. Anyway,
Taslim is actually my friend. And Taslim, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, I had to tell him to take off his dreads, man. Because I mean, it's one of the reasons why my phone is never on silent till today. That's why he called me at 2 a.m. I was like, okay, Taslim calling me at 2 a.m. Something's up. I just picked. My brother was like, why are you picking it? Like, it's my employee. That's my job. That's why they are paying me 2 a.m. So, hello. Now you be Emmanuel. I said, yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Oh, and we get a slim for you. He said they work for your company. I said, yes, sir. I'm the HR of the company, sir. Very, very, very interesting stuff. I mean, I was telling someone when like all this landlord single ladies issue happen. I think I made a tweet about how I cannot
You
count
pose
the
as
number
their
of
husband.
female. No, nothing like.
I just had to make the joke. I'm sorry, allow.
Yeah. I can't count how many landlords I've called to say, hey, So we even at Carrywise we had like a relocation stamp policy. So there are some cases where we actually like pay the employees' rent, right? So I call landlord and say, there's even one that had to send my ID card. It was so ridiculous to me. I never sent ID card from my own apartment, safe. But like I had to like just send ID card to say, hey, like I'm legit, kind of stuff, and she doesn't have to like worry about rent because the company pays. The
Yes,
rent.
it's capable.
Yeah, so that's one red flag. Another thing is HR obviously from what I've said does beyond like hiring and firing. I've talked a lot about strategic planning, succession planning, just all the high level things that we do. I am not going to take away the fact that HR are witches and wizards. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you know.
Because
Thank God. We go cut that part out.
I'm in WhatsApp communities. Please, that's a very good view. You guys want to put real out? Because I'm in HR communities and like things happen. And someone just respond. I'm like, the talents where they work for this one. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think there was one, I think there was a trend. It wasn't this year, maybe 2020 or 2023. About one babe, it was a virtual call that they called her at 11 a.m. and she said, oh, I'm sleeping, call me back in 2 hours.
11 a.m.?
Yeah. So it was just of course, I'm just saying now. Like I just picked a call for an interview. And so she called and I was like, hi, who am I speaking with? This is that. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't have an interview now. Can you call me back in 2 hours?
Yeah.
That's polite.
Yeah.
Because you did not tell her that you are
doing it ahead of time.
And like people are saying, oh, she's job searching. She
should just be on standby.
Excuse me, ma.
No, that's actually...
What do you mean? But it just
zero
shows
regard,
you
man.
How like
most people
not most. So
a lot of
but
if you insist if you insist.
I'm here to defend our badge of honor.
HR in context.
HR in context.
So just because of how HRs have been done before, like the mentality, there's still that generic, but we are changing the story, we are changing the narrative. Yeah. So
yeah, I would agree though that I mean in your niche you definitely are. You're one of the friendliest HR professionals that I know right now, and it's such a good thing.
Thank you.
But honestly, I don't know that your battle. I don't know if in the next 10 years that you give yourself, you will win this battle. But
at least you're
trying as a soldier.
More grease to your elbow. But yeah, anyway, it's been a really, really, really great time. You are so right. This was, quite a masterclass. It's been amazing talking to you.
Cute.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I finished asking all your questions.
Wow, you enjoyed it so much.
You know what to go.
But yeah, we'll do like another. This one will be Twitter thread, but you will tell the people to ask you anything. You go.
Yes, actually, we can definitely do that.
Maybe that's cute.
Yeah.
Okay, cute.
Do you want people to find you anywhere? Because you've been talking about.
Oh yeah, Emmanuel Faith on LinkedIn, the Emmanuel Faith on Twitter. You want to see my fine face? The Emmanuel Faith on Instagram too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like if you go to my Twitter bio, like it has everything you need to know about what
it really does.
I have a life outside HR, so
especially K-drama and football.
Yeah, so I watch a lot of K-drama and I watch a lot of female.
And he will always do threads about, oh my God, this HR lesson I'm learning.
Yeah, I'm sharing one this evening.
Yes.
Marry my husband, yes. Yeah. So I will do a thread this weekend.
So that you should marry.
But yeah,
you don't watch K-drama?
Oh, clearly not, but I do. See, I'm just managing, honestly.
How are we friends?
I just manage you.
You go soon go.
I'm managing you.
Follow go out.
So there's a way that like friends just like
no.
Because
I don't watch.
Yeah,
No.
I do watch once in a while, but it's not really constant.
That's cute. No, you should watch.
Really importantly, guys, if this conversation has been meaningful for you, you've been thinking about transitioning from one phase of your career to the next, and you want, I'm sure there were a lot of practical tips. And these insights in this conversation should definitely help you put pen to paper about the next steps you want to take. And if you need a worksheet that could help you do that, you should definitely visit our website. We have a worksheet that's, very, very detailed, and you can use that to kickstart your journey towards figuring out your career in context and preparing for the next steps you'll be taking.
Every time you say that in context, in my head just be that's right. That's awesome.
But yeah, thank you guys again. My name is Joanna, but you can always call me Jo. And thank you so much for tuning in to In Context Podcast, proudly powered by Old School Africa.
Don't forget to subscribe. If you thought I would
subscribe.
don't forget to subscribe.
We shall show up
and
in your
share.
DMs and
Just do
too.
all those sweet things. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.